Hey there everybody, this is Gary from Constricted and Addicted. One of the most common questions that I get asked is, what is a great first reptile for a new reptile keeper? And I really don't know the answer to that question. Usually what I say, the best reptile for a new keeper is the one you've done research for. So what I did was I asked a bunch of my friends to give me their experience and what they felt was a good beginner reptile for a new keeper. We got some great responses coming up. We've even got a couple of new keepers who submitted videos and they are included in this. I want to thank everybody who submitted a video, who participated in this. We appreciate you. And I am going to introduce you to Nikki. Nikki is my male ocelot that I received from Aubrey Pruitt at A&B Exotics. This guy right here is super amazing, and you're gonna find that there's some super amazing people included in this video, so stick around and check it out.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from Mod Exotics. You can find me on Instagram at mod_exotics. My favorite beginner reptile to recommend is the corn snake. Corn snakes are a North American species, and they're a great beginner snake for a number of reasons. The first reason being they're very easy to care for. They don't have high humidity requirements. Temperature requirements are also pretty low, and they're very forgiving if you don't get quite the perfect parameters. Second reason is these guys love to eat. They are great eaters. Very rarely do corn snakes turn down a meal, and they'll usually take frozen thawed right out of the egg. So they're very easy to feed. They can stay on frozen thawed their whole life. Third reason is ease of handling. You see this guy's very friendly. He is a little bit of a quicker mover, but he's small enough that he's easy enough to handle, and they're really just not prone to biting. They're pretty friendly little snakes. And then the fourth reason is they come in so many colors and patterns. This is a palmetto corn snake, but they come in pinks and reds and grays, and pretty much any color that you can dream of, there is a corn snake out there for you. So that's why the corn snake is my favorite beginner snake, and everybody should have one of these little guys in their life.
I'm Mike Stefani, Mike's Monitors here. I've been asked to do this little video on what I believe is a good beginner type varanid monitor lizard. And without a doubt, I'll have to say Varanus coming eye. As you can see, this is my male lemonhead. He's a very, very beautiful and calm animal. And the reason I suggested it's a smaller water monitor, maxing out at about 5 foot. And they go through this really cool thing. It's called an ontogenic color change, where their juvenile pattern it doesn't look like this. So as they grow over the about 4 or 5 month time, they slowly turn into this. They slowly turn into this big, beautiful lemon yellow dragon. They're just so nice. They're so tractful. And you know what's really nice about them is, most people go out and they buy a cheap wild-caught Asian water monitor, not knowing what happens. Those get 7 foot. They get huge. So this is a very, very nice, moderate-sized water monitor, and in my opinion, the most beautiful monitor on Earth. So take a good look at Lemonhead, and you can see how beautiful these animals are. Yeah, beautiful. So there you go. Varanus coming eye, beginner, good beginner monitor if you want something with a little size to it. Very, very calm animals. Yeah, so go get you Marina's Coming Eye. Mike Stefani, Mike's Monitors. I'm out.
Hi, my name's Megan Thomas. I am at Thomas Family Zoo on Instagram. With me today, I've got Stumpy. I'm in Australia, and Stumpy is a central bearded dragon. He is about 6 months old. So, as a beginner reptile, I really think that bearded dragons are amazing. That if you get their requirements right in terms of heat and UV, they're a very easy reptile to keep. They are full of personality. They're very entertaining. One of the most endearing traits of bearded dragons is that they will wave. So this little guy here, Stumpy, I rescued him. He's a special needs bearded dragon. He's not waving at the moment, but you can see that he is missing part of his arm, hence his name. So yeah, the benefits of bearded dragons is that they grow very quickly. They're very entertaining. They're very cuddly. They just love to hang with you and to chill. And they're a great kids pet. They're very rewarding, very interactive. And that is my suggestion for the best beginner reptile. Thanks guys. Bye. Bye.
Hi there, I'm Alex Carr. My Instagram is at Carr Reptiles, and I think a great beginner reptile is the ball python. This is Yachty. Yachty is a pastel yellow belly genetic stripe ball python. He is actually my first. A few that I have. Ball pythons are great because they're readily available. They're really affordable in price because so many people breed them. They come in all sorts of different colors. If you decide that you ever want to breed them, their clutch sizes stay pretty small, so it's not such an undertaking. They're really sweet, docile guys for the most part. When they're young, they can be a little bit nippy, but the world is a scary place when you're a little guy and just a noodle with the head, as some would say. The biggest downfall to these guys is sometimes they just decide that they don't want to eat. And it can be for a host of reasons, whether it's mating season or whether things are just not set up right or they got a little bit scared. But other than that, there's really been no negatives as far as me keeping them. So anyways, if you're looking to get into the hobby, ball python is a great way to go.
Hi everyone, my name is Merissa Cardoza. I also go by MC Scales and Tails on Instagram. And the reptile I believe would make a very good first pet would be carpets. They stay relatively small in size, anywhere between 5 to 7 feet. As you can see, they are just super chill, slow movers. They're great eaters, which is, I feel, always a plus when you're getting into snakes, especially. They can be a little spicy as babies, but they tame down pretty quickly. As you can see, he's just super chill. There's all kinds of morphs and colors and localities of carpet pythons, but really they're just super sweet, super calm, just really good snakes. And I definitely don't feel like carpets get the most love. They're always kind of on the back burner for people, but they are just really, really good snakes, and don't see why they wouldn't make a good first pet for someone.
I am Missy. I am from Michigan. I am a big snake keeper. I mainly keep big constrictors, but I also keep other types of snakes. Okay, so I was asked, what do I feel is a good pet snake for a beginner? And I am gonna have to go with a ball python. I feel ball pythons make perfect beginner pets because they are usually docile. All of my ball pythons are sweethearts, and if you work with them a lot in the beginning, if you get one as a baby, they calm right down. Once your ball python gets to know you, they're pretty easy. They come in different types of colors, different types of patterns, you know, different morphs. They're pretty inexpensive unless you're going to hire up like designer morphs, then it can get pretty crazy. I am not a breeder, I am a keeper, and I love them. Husbandry wise, so they're not that complicated to keep husbandry wise. A lot of people like to complicate it. I don't complicate it. Heating, lighting is not that difficult for a ball python.
What's up, everyone? This is Dylan McDowell here in Nashville Retics. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Nashville Retics, and you can find me on Facebook at Dylan McDowell. I'm gonna talk a little bit about my first reptile, why I chose it, and a little bit about my experience. I chose my first reptile to be a ball python, and that was a fairly easy decision. And what influenced that decision was how low maintenance they are, and they don't really get too big, and they're considered a very easy beginner's pet. And since I was a beginner, I felt like that was a good decision. A little bit about my experience. When it comes to my experience, I don't have much experience. I've only been keeping snakes a little over 6 months, but I've had the chance to talk to a bunch of people and get hands-on learning experience with keepers, and I also have a snake mentor, Donovan, over at DNA Reptiles and Creations. He has helped me a bunch on this journey. He got me into retics. He taught me about boas. He taught me about all the large constrictors. So,
hey everybody, my name is Nazario, but if you can't pronounce that, just call me Z. And before we begin, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Just Call Me Z and follow me at my socials at The Dude Named Z. Now, with all that said and done, let's talk about my experience as a reptile keeper. First, starting with the very first animal I've owned, which is right here in my hand right here, Zebulon. He is my going on 3-year-old Central American Nicaraguan boa. At least that's to what my knowledge he is. I'm still figuring out more of what his exact locality is, but for the most part, he is a Central American BCI. Why did I choose him to be my very first reptile? Well, for many years I've had experience since I was a little kid raising and, taking care of different types of animals, especially if they were native species like box turtles or, salamanders, and saving black rat snakes out of the trees and everything, make sure, they don't get hurt or anything. Why I chose a boa constrictor was because I always favored these animals. Like, these animals are, in my opinion, the most gorgeous large-bodied constrictors in the world, in my opinion. Probably a close second would be a reticulated python. But these animals are just so awesome because, they're at a really great size to where, you could take them out and somebody with the untrained eye can say, that's a huge snake. And you can get them to have that first really good experience with snakes, especially if, they have a fear of them. So that's why I ultimately chose boa constrictors as my very first animal to own, especially Zebulon, because I learned he was a lot more afraid of me than I was of him at the time. And lo and behold, it's probably been the best decision I've ever made in my 22 years of life, and I thank God for it. Boa constrictors are awesome, and I hope I get to talk to you guys a little bit more guys soon. From me and Zebulon.
Hi, I'm Jeremy from World of Wilcox. The best first reptile for you is the one that you can provide proper husbandry and care for.
One of the greatest things of our hobby is it's always growing. There's always new people coming in, new generations, old generations. People are discovering reptiles every day, and they're finding a new love for it, whether it's through an expo or whether it's through a friend that has a reptile and they may have exposed that friend to that reptile and they get the, I've got to have that. One of the things about reptile keeping that is extremely important is knowing about USARG. Please, if you are a new keeper, if you are an experienced keeper, if you own a reptile, of any sort, it's important that you know about USARK. So this message is quick and simple. Please go to usark.org and check out the membership section. You can become a member for $5 a month, $40 a month, and even more expensive. You can even just pick up a free newsletter. Knowing about USARK and what USARK does for us as reptile keepers is extremely important, and it's extremely important that we also support USARK. So please go to usark.org, check out the website, and become a member today.
USARK.